everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Mystical Munchies featuring the NecroNomNomNom cookbook. After our episode of Deep Fried Deep One last week, this week we're going to be making the dessert Moonbeast Pies, which looks to be chocolate whoopie pies with strawberry jam. This is also already the final episode of Mystical Munchies for the NecroNomNomNom, at least this year. Anyway, as usual, the ingredients are waiting for us at the table, so let's make our way in that general direction. You're probably going to hear the oven chirping a fair amount. I've got it preheating to 400 degrees right now. It might be a little bit harder to tell here, but I'm also trying to make three distinct groups of ingredients because we've got essentially a three-part recipe. So first up, we're going to need to make the pies, and for those, we need 8 tablespoons, aka 1 stick of unsalted butter softened. I'll have to do a little bit of softening on that. We need a cup of sugar, an egg, 1 cup of evaporated milk, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and half a teaspoon of baking powder, hopefully without sending that measuring cup flying. Then as far as the marshmallow filling is concerned, we need another 8 tablespoons or a stick of unsalted butter, which I'm going to have to soften, 1 cup of confectioner's, aka powdered sugar, and I can't believe I didn't see it right here. Back the first time I needed confectioner's sugar and I was wondering what the hell it was. Then I see, hey, look at that, confectioner's, aka powdered sugar. So yeah, clearly my eyesight isn't what it used to be, but anyway, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a cup or the marshmallow crème or fluff. I'm just going to end up using what's in here. I might be a little bit short, but oh well. Then for the strawberry filling, we need a 12-ounce package of spaghetti. They only have them in 16 ounces, so this is what I was able to grab. A 3-ounce package of Jell-O, which looks like it had pineapple next to it. Some of the juice spilled on it, but it doesn't seem like it impacted anything. And last up, a cup of strawberry jam, which I had to grab from the grocery store this morning. With that, let's move into the kitchen and start putting this recipe together. I'm starting off with a large mixing bowl and shot. So what I'm going to start off with here is I'm going to combine the butter, and hopefully that's softened enough. I put it in for 30 seconds in the microwave. Seems like it'll be fine. Let me see if I can spatula a little bit more of that out. Whoop. I think that will work there. That can leave shot. And the cup of sugar. So hopefully when I go to pour this out, it'll be fine. We'll find out soon enough. I'm definitely going to need more sugar, though. At least, well, I'm fine. I think I'm fine for the recipe. It looks like I'm just fine for the recipe. But I'll definitely need more for my stock, essentially. So now we've got the butter and the sugar in there. I'll put that canister away. Then we'll mix this well. Okay, that looks good. Now we want to add in the egg, evaporated milk, and vanilla extract. So here's our egg. Hopefully with no shell. Okay, perfect. Egg. And I don't think I brought oh no, I did bring the vanilla extract in here, but I want the evaporated milk next. Okay, the eggs can go back in the fridge since I'm done with those. Here's our evaporated milk. Whoa. We wanted a cup of this. If I can ever get there we go. I was going to say if I can ever get my finger out. This looks like it's something else I'm going to need the spatula for. Okay, yeah, this is getting really annoying really quick. So I'm actually going to come down here. I'm going to move the camera just slightly so I can get at my spatula for small spaces. Start mixing that in. I don't really remember evaporated milk being this thick. I remember it still being somewhat liquidy. I mean, it's been a while since I've had to work with it, but maybe it's always been this thick for all I remember. But let's scrape out as much as we can. That should do. And we'll grab the rest of this out of the can. Because it looked like I was going to need most of the can to get to a cup. Okay, that looks pretty good. That can all move toward the dishes in the sink. And a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Alright, so the teaspoon can go into the dishes. The vanilla extract can go back toward the table because it's an ingredient in, I believe it was an ingredient in the filling, yes. Alright, so that can go back here. And then we want to mix that. It doesn't say how well to mix it, so I'm just going to assume until everything's combined. Okay, I think everything looks good there, so we can get that mixing bowl out of shot, and now we need another, looks like a separate medium mixing bowl. The oven just came up to 400 right before I started talking, in case you were wondering what that chirp, what the last little tail of that chirp was. So now in a separate mixing bowl, we're going to mix together the flour, which we needed 2 cups of that. I've got my half cup here that I'm going to use 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Try to bang a little bit of this together to get 4. That can go to the dishes. This can get put away. Alright, next we want the salt, which is half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. Let me make sure the salt isn't needed for anything else before I put it away. It is not. So that can get put away. Teaspoon and a half of baking soda. Teaspoon and a half. I don't think the baking soda is needed for anything either. It is not, so that can go back up. Half a cup, I believe, of unsweetened cocoa powder, right? Yes. Oh, and this is new. This is unopened. So, of course, it naturally doesn't want to open for me today. That's great. There we go. Had to take a scissors and poke it open. That was moderately annoying, and I've already got some on my finger. Delightful. I suppose it could be worse. I could be putting my hands in hydrochloric acid, but after my experiences in high school chemistry, I'm not quite that dense. I'm just giving my hands a quick wash off. God, it's amazing I can even remember back that far in my old age. Anyway, minor rambling aside. Half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, which I'll measure out over top of the flour, the dry ingredient mixture. That's a little bit generous of a half a cup, but we'll work with it. Once again, that can go to the dishes, that can get broken up a bit and get put away. And then half a teaspoon of baking powder. There's my baking powder. Half a teaspoon of that. That can go to the dishes. The baking powder can get put away. Tighten the lid on the unsweetened cocoa powder. Then we'll mix this up. Admittedly, this seems like it's going to be one of those recipes that would be a lot easier with a stand mixer. I do have a stand mixer coming. My mom's going to give me her old one, but I'm probably going to be Christmas time before I'm able to pick it up. So, I'm trying not to do anything that's going to involve a lot of mixing, or where a stand mixer would be easier before then. So, by this time next year, I should be a lot more familiar with using a stand mixer than having to do all this mixing by hand. So now that we've got that portion mixed up, now I want to add the flour mixture slowly to the sugar mixture while we're stirring it, and we're going to mix until all the ingredients are combined. So we've got the sugar mixture right here. I'm going to add in a little bit of the flour mixture, then stir, then add a little more, then stir, so on and so forth. All right, then we'll stir. Okay, drop in a little more. We'll stir some more. My instincts are screaming out if I ever make this in the future to use some sort of electronic mixing. But I am encountering a lot of resistance on that one, but we'll add in the last of the flour mixture. This is going to come out very goopy, I'm sure. I'm not liking what I feel coming out of this. I almost wonder if I needed a more liquidy brand of the condensed milk. Because like I said, this almost feels way too thick. Like I'm not getting the consistency that I want with that, but I think that'll have to do. With that, now we need a cookie sheet and shot. I've got a cookie sheet here that I've greased into shot. So now what we want to do is we're going to drop the dough onto the greased cookie sheet by large rounded spoonfuls. And I've got this handy little contraption that I needed for some of my oil recipes that we're going to give a go here. So I want to leave some space between each of the pies as I drop them down, each of the spoonfuls as I drop them down because they will spread as they cook. Okay. We can get that off there. Hopefully we'll get at least a tolerable amount of these out. I might need a second cookie sheet, but we'll find out. That's a big one. Yeah, I'm probably going to need a second baking sheet on this. Okay. And color me completely unsurprised, but I will need a second baking sheet, so I will be right back. In fact, I'm actually going to turn the camera off so I can drop these onto cookie sheets, and then we'll come back with everything ready to go. They're a smidge rough around the edges, but they'll work just fine for our purposes. So I'm going to put these in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes. I'm going to air toward the 8 minutes. And I've got a bit of space there just because they're supposed to expand while they cook. So we'll come back in about, I'd say, 8 to 10 minutes. These are some big cookie crumbs. These are some big cookie crust, essentially. So these are going to be probably knife and fork whoopie pies, I would expect. But I need to let these cool for an hour. I'm going to continue catching up with cleanup, and then we'll come back for the next step. I've got a pot of water boiling off in the background. For now, file that away as irrelevant, but we are going to come back to it. So in another mixing bowl, now we're going to start to make the marshmallow filling. So in this mixing bowl, we're going to blend together the filling ingredients. So we need another stick of butter, which actually might be softened since I've been letting it come up to room temperature. We'll see how that behaves. Then we need a cup of confectioner's, aka powdered sugar, which I've got right here. We've been using a lot of this of late. That's going to be a lot of sugar, but that's a heaping cup, but no help for it. I'll put this away. I'm just checking my ingredients. We need a half teaspoon of the vanilla, another half teaspoon of the vanilla extract. Okay. That can get put back away. And we want our 7 ounces of, we want our cup, I should say, of marshmallow cream. This might be a little bit short, but I think we can deal with it. I've got a spatula right here to start to scoop most of it out. Okay. Get in there. Get my smaller spatula. Let's see if I can do a little bit of scraping here. I just washed it earlier, so I may... Got it. Okay. I think I'm just needlessly making dishes at this point, but seems like this is working out-ish. Okay. I think that's probably as good as we're going to get there. I'll move those over to the dishes, and then we want to mix this up, I believe, until it's smooth, right? Yes. Right, so the powdered sugar can go back up. Stuff can start hitting the bin or the sink for the dishes. And we'll give this a mix until it's all smooth. I'm thinking I may want the hand mixer for this. But, yeah, I think I want the hand mixer for this, so let me bring that down once I get this wooden spoon out. I may have wanted the hand mixer for the pies themselves as well, but we'll see how it goes without that. But I think for this, I have a feeling for this, since this is supposed to be the filling, I think they want smooth too much. So we're going to get the mixer out for this one. And once I get it together, you guys know the drill on the mixer. It's a bit loud, so I'll give you guys a 5-second warning before I'm ready to turn the mixer on, which I'm just about. Okay, plugged in. Here's your 5-second warning because I'm getting ready to turn the mixer on. These dessert recipes especially are going to be so much easier once I get that hand mixer. Let me do a little bit more here. Or not that hand mixer, that stand mixer. Do a little bit more, see if I can get some of this out. Okay. I think that's all set there. So now I think I'm at a point where I'm basically waiting for the water to start boiling. I know I told you guys to file that away, that we were coming back to it. Just giving this a quick wash to get the filling mixture off my hands a little bit. Maybe start getting some of this stuff out of the way. Maybe get at least the hand mixer out of the way so I can clean the kitchen up a little bit. There we go. Come on. This cord does not want... Okay, there we go. I was going to say the cord Didn't seem like it was wanting to coil for me, but we got that. So we can get the mixer itself out of the way. I will definitely need to get the blades clean. So now I think we're waiting at this point until the water starts to boil. So we'll come back when the water is boiling. I'm at kind of a weird angle to this, but I think it'll work. So I've got the water boiling right now. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spaghetti and I'm going to break some of the stalks in half. I highly doubt I'm going to need this whole thing. I highly doubt I'm going to need this whole package of spaghetti stalks. But we're going to take out some of the spaghetti in here. Easy does it. Like I said, I'm not going to need... I think like one fistful of spaghetti will probably be plenty. Even this feels like it's going to be a touch too much, but I think we can work with it. So what we want to do here is we want to break the spaghetti in half and add it to our pot of boiling water. Then with that, we're going to add the Jell-O to the pot, the Jell-O powder to the pot, and we're going to mix it all together, cooking until the spaghetti is tender. So here's our Jell-O powder. Doesn't seem to smell of pineapple, so I think we'll duck our catastrophe from earlier this morning. Oh boy. You can see how it flared red up there. We'll see how that looks when we get to the Moon Beast pies. What did I do with a... Oh, here we go. And again, the goal is we're going to cook that up until the spaghetti is tender. Now, I know this seems like a weird thing to add to a dessert recipe of spaghetti. I'm trying to stir this spaghetti without getting my arm in the shot. I know it seems weird at first glance, but I promise it'll all make sense. Because it kind of does as I'm poking around with the recipe, but I'm not going to spoil it now. So we're going to cook that up until the spaghetti's tender, and then we'll come back when said spaghetti is all cooked. And it doesn't say anything about draining it, which seems weird, but I'm probably just going to go ahead and drain it out of habit because that's a habit I've got out of pasta. So we'll come back once the spaghetti's all cooked and drained. Now we're going to assemble these, and I've got a paper plate out here because we're going to assemble the one that I'm going to use for the taste test. So, we're going to start off with one of our flat cookies. We're going to flatten that one out. Then we'll take 2 tablespoons of the marshmallow filling and spread that over, what do they want? On the flat side of it. Spread that around a bit. I get the feeling I'm not going to be able to transport these unless I wrap them up first. But we'll see how that plays out. In fact, I'm going to grab another spoon here. Actually, I've got a few spoons over in... Bring them back. Oh yes, I did bring some of them back in. So I can scrape some of these out. These might end up just being home snacks, unfortunately. I would want to be able to bring these in if they turn out, but yeah, that's unfortunate. So we've got that. Then we need some of our red spaghetti to stick out over the side of the cookie. This isn't going to be particularly neat, but just get a few stalks of it in there. Okay. Then we want a spoonful of the strawberry jam just off center, which I brought the strawberry jams right here. No wonder I can't find it. There's the pop there. We'll grab a spoonful of this. Should be just off center. So probably about there. Then we'll grab another cookie. We'll press it down. We might have needed to spread that a little bit more. That actually seems to be working pretty well. But yeah, this is definitely a messy treat. This is not Unfortunately, this isn't something I'm going to be able to bring to work, but jam is not particularly oozing. I'll have to grab something that I can scoop that up with, but we can move her over to my desk for the taste test, so I decided if I'm going to bother with putting the rest of these together. As we can see, the pie is big, it's unwieldy, it's going to be a mess, and honestly, I probably could have done without the spaghetti. That's a pure artistic touch. But let's see what I think of the taste and see if I like this or not. Looking at this, it's probably not a work treat. And I'm not even sure how I'm going to pick this beast. Okay, yeah. This one ended up being the bigger of the bunch, and I think it was, yeah, this is definitely not a work treat. Which is unfortunate, but... very, very messy. And if I wasn't trying to lose weight, I'd probably eat all these over the course of a week, but yeah, considering I just got down to about 183 and change this morning, I think the rest of this is probably just getting binned, which is a waste, but there's no help for that, especially since I'm trying to stay as serious about weight loss as I am. This actually... I don't usually like eating marshmallow like that, but it actually was pretty good. It's a very different taste for sure from anything I'm used to. But like I said, be aware this is a very messy recipe if you make it. So that's another episode of Mystical Munchies in the books. We'll be doing something different, but I'll talk about that more during the end of August recap. If you want to ask me something for the Ask Me Anything segment, I'd say you have about 2 to 3 more videos for the Ask Me Anything questions, but that will do it for this segment of Mystical Munchies. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.